Good morning, everyone. God bless you on this beautiful, glorious Sunday. I hope you are ready for today because it is a present, and as every present, we should be enjoying it, right? Amen. All right. Well, as you can see, my name is Adi Stale from the Adi Stale Junior Show. I am dropping a devotion for March the 23rd. 23rd, sorry. Um, Lord, allow these words to stick to me like blood and bone, and allow it to flow like the wind across the world. Amen. March 23rd. Delicately designed. Husbands, in the same way, be considerate as you live with your wives, and treat them with respect as the weaker partner and as heirs with you of the gracious gift of life. And that's from the First Peter chapter 3, verse 7. The word weaker in this verse isn't referring just to physical strength, because some women are stronger than some men. In addition, women can put up with much emotional adversity and physical stress and still survive. Many men couldn't handle what women can handle. I like to translate the word weaker as more delicate. Peter was saying, husband, treat your wife with consideration and respect because God designed her in such a way that she is delicate. She is very, very fine. Remember that God took a scoop of dirt with which to fashion the male, but he built the female in a little bit more elegantly. Her shape is a little bit more refined than a man's. He designed her delicately. I believe this also refers to this delicacy of her soul. The expression of a woman's soul is very refined because of her purpose. She is more sensitive than her male counterpart. I believe that definition of weaker should go even deeper to indicate that a woman is more observant. She can absorb things more easily than a man because she was created to observe. That is why God told the husband to be careful how he treated her. Why? She is so delicate that she absorbs everything around her. Thought for the day. God took a scoop of dirt with which to fashion the male, but he built the female a little bit more elegantly. Amen. Um, it's kind of reminds me of kind of like the way we think, right? Where I feel, and I read that man is more logical and where women's more emotional. And that doesn't mean one's bad and the other one's better or um, because it's not, it's just a different way. I mean, one of the things I think about where he mentions about men can't deal with some women, think about pregnancy. Wow. You are actually having something inside you grow. You know what I'm saying? Not to be nasty, but man, I can't even deal when I have a growing, poopskis that I can't deal with. You know what I'm saying? Much less a freaking human being. What they create in it, what they hold, you have to have. You're caring for two. You're eating for two. Your emotion is two, and you're absorbing that. I mean, women, I give it all to you guys. Wow, much power, much respect, and so just think about it that way, you know, because I know I've seen those videos where the men uses those things, the pads and whatever, to show what women have to deal with. Yeah, I'll be tapping out too. Uh, but yeah, like he was saying, definitely not weaker, you know, because what women have to deal with at all times. Um, and so we have to put in consideration that the word weaker is not has to do with strength because like he says, I know my wife, when we play around, man, she hits, when we're playing around and she hits me on my arm, I'm like, damn, you know what I'm saying? And and she's smaller, but there's so much force behind it. And that's why I like what he was saying, more delicate, more sensitive, more observant than male. And again, these are all not bad things. These are just things that we need. And that is why he says that the women came from men, because it's just our partner. So we need that with us, We need that because sometimes we don't feel that way. So we need, a partner. Hey, da 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 da. The other example, I was joking around with my son's girlfriend about, getting a drink from the store. And I said, some, silly stuff as in like, oh, I didn't ask you kind of deal. And I didn't, me joking about it. And I get home and my wife's like, hey, that could have gone the wrong way. And I stepped back and I didn't have um, uh, no negative response. I allowed her to tell me. And she knows me. And so she knows that I didn't mean to be mean. So I, say, hey, um, I caught her in the kitchen because I was cooking, um, and I'm like, hey, your beverage in there, and then I had to reassure her, say, hey, girl, I was totally kidding. I'm sorry, I shouldn't kid like that all the time. You know what I'm saying? Because um, you might have taken the wrong way because if I didn't like her, she wouldn't be at our house, right? And so I wanted her to feel like she's welcome. So um, I appreciate that my wife was able to tell me that because she observed that. You know what I'm saying? Where I didn't. And I'm not trying to be like that. God knows, and she knows. So that's why she was like, "Hey, babe, because da da da." I'm like, "Oh, thank you for letting me know." You know. So husbands, we should really look. Also, let's check this out. We should always look on how we are carrying over, our relationships, and not just with women in general. Okay, we should respect the relationships that we are having with our wives. Okay, and that was one way. As one, we have to honor the way we have to treat her differently. You have to love her and make sure she's right and stuff like that. And then we also got to be sure what we are having relationships wise with our family, how we're treating women in that family, as a family member, our cousins, our sisters, our moms, grandmothers, and stuff like that. And then check this out. We also have to be careful on how we are having relationships, as in, and not as in like, as in with strangers, with friends, and honor and make sure they know where you're coming from. As a man of God, hey, I am not, make sure you are talking respectfully, making sure they don't get no weird feelings or any other intentions, because what you're trying to say, as in just as in being nice and courteous, you know. So you got to make sure you are coming from the right spot and making sure your words are properly toned and addressed in a way where you don't mean no disrespect, because you have your wife, you have your family member, you have your friends, you have your strangers, and each one are different. All right. But if you come from from the grace of God and the reason, of why you are conversating, then you'll be good, you know.